Good evening. You are tuning in to AWANI Tonight with me, Cynthia Ng. The government plans to present the proposed constitutional amendments on citizenship to the Conference of Rulers on July 12th. Home Minister Datuk Seri Saifuddin Nasution Ismail said the amendments will be tabled during the next Parliament session beginning October 9th if they receive royal assent.
Tentang kewarganegaraan ini, kita sekarang sedang mempersiapkan cadangan pindaan bahagian 3 Perlembagaan Persekutuan berhubung perkara warga negara. Dan kita lakukan ini secara komprehensif, bukan saja soal anak yang dilahirkan oleh ibu warga negara Malaysia di luar negara dengan pasangannya bukan warga negara, tetapi juga adalah satu pindaan yang komprehensif mengandungi sekurang-kurangnya 8 cadangan pindaan.
Among the proposed amendments include lowering the age limit to renounce citizenship from 21 to 18. Home Minister Datuk Seri Saifuddin Nasution Ismail has also expressed his confidence that Malaysia's ranking in the US Trafficking in Persons report will show improvement this year. Malaysia is currently placed in the lowest tier. The report is scheduled to be released on Thursday evening, and the Home Ministry is set to have an engagement session with the US Embassy in Kuala Lumpur before its publication.
Pertama tentang angka penguatkuasaan kita, ya, termasuk pendakwaan dan juga sabitan, itu menunjukkan peningkatan. Kemudian dari segi aspek kawasan yang lain, iaitu pelindungan ke atas mangsa pemerdagangan. Bila kita tempatkan mereka di pusat pelindungan kita, semua negeri di Malaysia ni ada pusat pelindungan. Yang terakhir adalah yang kita buka di Sarawak beberapa bulan lepas. Okey, bermaksud mereka bebas bergerak. Bahkan kita facilitate mereka untuk mendapat pekerjaan. Kita juga adakan sesi lebat urus berterusan untuk membina kesedaran awam tentang isu pemerdagangan manusia ini. Yang keempat adalah lebat urus kita dengan agensi-agensi dan NGOs dalam dan luar negara. Jadi keempat perkara itu penting sebagai kayu ukur untuk Malaysia diberi penilaian sama ada kita improve dari sudut kedudukan kita sekarang, Tier 3 kepada kedudukan lebih baik.
Klang Valley commuters can expect shorter travel time with increased train frequencies for several public transport rail lines by September. Transport Minister Anthony Loke said that Prasarana Malaysia and Rapid Rail are in the midst of implementing several initiatives to improve public confidence towards the rapid transit system.
Untuk laluan Ampang, kerja-kerja overhaul dijalankan ke atas semua sistem komponen train melibatkan ke semua 50 train bermula daripada Oktober 2022 dan dijangka siap pada Disember 2027. Untuk laluan Keranajaya, mempercepatkan pembelian 19 set train 4 gerabak baru ataupun KLAV 27 yang akan diterima secara berperingkat bermula bulan Ogos tahun ini sehingga penghujung tahun 2024 yang akan menggantikan train 2 gerabak yang telah usang dan akan meningkatkan kekerapan train bermula bulan September 2023. Dengan perkhidmatan yang lebih kerap, ia akan mengurangkan kesesakan khususnya pada waktu puncak serta mengurangkan kerosakan pada waktu operasi.
As for the monorail line, Loke said the construction of 2 new monorail trains and restoration of 1 monorail train is expected to be completed in March 2025, with train frequencies set at 5 minutes during peak hours. Meanwhile, the Mass Rapid Transit, or MRT Kerajaan line, Loke said is currently under a wheel replacement program, which is expected to be completed in August 2023. It will see the train frequency return to 4 minutes during peak hours as compared to 6 minutes at present.
Astro AWANI Network Sembilan Berhad remains the most trusted news brand in Malaysia for 6 consecutive years. Based on the 2023 Digital News Report by Reuters Institute and the University of Oxford, Astro AWANI came in first among other news outlets with 70% trust score.
For weekly reach offline and online, Astro AWANI also came in second for the TV, radio and print category as well as online. According to the report, Astro AWANI also has the second highest reach in both offline and online news sources lists as it continues to innovate amid a challenging broadcast environment. The report also highlights AWANI's effort in designing new programs for Malaysia's youth and attracting young talents. Meanwhile, the report also found overall trust in news increased by 4% compared to last year.
The government has decided that the development of housing projects in Kuala Lumpur must include affordable houses or people's housing projects. Dr. Carmelo Ferlito from the Centre for Market Education discusses if this is the right move.
Rather discussing first who should do what, we should develop more clarity on what is actually needed. Because in this moment, all the conversation on affordability is based on the PIR, so the index price-income ratio, and this is applied simply to the new launches. Okay, so by calculating that index to new launches, we deduct that houses are not affordable. But I think this is misleading for two orders of reason. First of all, is utopistic to think that every person should just enter a brand new house. This doesn't happen anywhere in the world. And related to that, most of the transactions today happen in the secondary market. 80%, more or less 80% of the real estate transactions happen in the secondary market. So as far as we don't get data and a clear picture on the secondary market and on the prices in the secondary market, I think we are totally misguided in the conversation. Having said that, obviously, and I agree that the private sector should be the one developing what people need, but in order to do so, it needs to respond to market signals. It cannot be just an imposition of the government with certain criteria, because that kind of supply-side obstacles are only going to make houses more expensive.
Carmelo also suggests that looking at affordability from a new perspective, emphasizing the need to balance between financial and social considerations.
The ultimate goal should not be to provide houses, but to give access to social mobility opportunities. If we give a house to a poor family, to a poor household in a location that doesn't allow for social mobility, this household will always remain poor. Poor with a house, but always poor. Instead, the focus of policy should be to put households and people in the position to move away from poverty, not just to remain poor with a roof on their head.
To further assist B40 households, Carmelo emphasized the need to reconsider urban planning and real estate development.
One of the mistakes that we do now is to consider the issue of property constructions, real estate, and urban planning as two different aspects. So the developers do buildings, do constructions, and the government does urban planning. We need to reconcile that. So we need to put urban development and real estate development as part of the same conversation. And in this sense, I think it makes more sense for the government to help the people with some sort of rent support in existing developments in areas which allow the promotion of social mobility. Because let's not forget that the issue of affordability is never only or just a matter of price. It includes also location and size. So location, size, and price are three items of the same conversation. And in this regard, therefore, we need to put again together urban planning and real estate development.
We'll take a quick break. Stay tuned for more. 2 soldiers were killed and another injured after a fellow recruit opened fire at a military training range in central Japan. The shooting took place during a live fire training exercise. An 18-year-old cadet was arrested, but the motive has yet to be established. Japan's Chief Cabinet Secretary Hirokazu Matsuno said the incident happened around 9 a.m. Wednesday at a shooting range in Hino City. 2 servicemen ages 25 and 52 died in the incident. They did not reveal further information about the suspect, who is believed to be a new recruit. Gun violence remains extremely rare in Japan, but there have been some notable incidents in the past year. Former Prime Minister Shinzo Abe was gunned down at a political rally by a protester last July. Japan has strict gun ownership rules. Civilians can only own hunting rifles and air guns, and they have to undergo a strict exam and mental health tests in order to buy a gun in Japan. South Korea has sued North Korea, seeking $35 million in compensation over a joint liaison office that Pyongyang blew up in 2020. The symbolic lawsuit filed with the Seoul Central District Court comes amid growing tensions between the two sides over a nuclear weapon.
A South Korean official said the suit was the first the government had ever filed against the North. Although North Korea is likely to ignore engaging with any legal process, South Korea filed the suit because a 3-year statute of limitations over the incident would expire this Friday. It claimed the North's demolition was violent, illegal, and infringed on the property rights of the South and its people. The first diplomatic mission of its kind, the liaison office was established in 2018 as part of a series of projects aimed at reducing tensions between the two Koreas. In June 2020, North Korea used explosives to blow it up after criticizing South Korea's failure to stop North Korean defectors from flying anti-North propaganda leaflets across the borders using balloons.
Donald Trump pleaded not guilty at a Florida court to 37 charges of taking classified national security documents from his time in office and lied to officials who sought to recover them. Trump is the first former U.S. president charged with a federal crime.
According to the indictment, the charges stem from Trump's retention of 102 classified documents after he left office, which federal authorities only found after an FBI raid on his Mar-a-Lago estate. Following his court appearance, Trump told his supporters that the charges against him as election interference and another attempt to rig and steal a presidential election. Despite being indicted twice, he remains the frontrunner for the Republican presidential nomination in 2024. No trial date has been set in the Florida case. Experts say it could be a year or more before a trial takes place. It was the second court appearance for Trump in recent months. In April, he pleaded not guilty to state charges in New York over a hush money payment to an adult film actress.
That wraps up Awani Tonight. I'm Cynthia Ng. Thank you for watching. Good night.